Good morning. Good morning. First of all, oh, you've got your little buddy there. This is really exciting stuff, even though you're looking at me and you're saying, really, Miss Christensen, this is exciting stuff. What are we doing down here? First of all, Miss Rake, I see you've got your beautiful phone. Can everybody, because I know you guys have phones, it's human nature. If you have your phone, could you please at least either sit on it or put it in your pocket or put it away? Because the time that we're together here, ladies, this is really important, incredible stuff that we're going to talk about. And you have an incredible math department here that is very passionate about the topic that we're going to talk about. A few weeks ago we had an assembly and Mr. Fricky spoke. And I've heard a lot of comments about okay, Mr. Fricky killed it. I heard a lot of comments about how, even from parents, that was awesome about, you know, the conversation that he had with all of us in the whole gym. So from that point, but prior to that, Mr. Allen had shared some research with me, or some information about stereotype and kind of like how girls perform in school and how we perform in tests. And what happened is during when your teachers are gone sometimes on half days, they're working together on curriculum and trying to figure out what else can we do here? How do we improve? How do we help our students? How do we make things better here? How do we just move it to the next notch? Or what do we need to go back and reteach? Because hey, we didn't get that. And through that conversation and through the research that Mr. Allen had brought forth to what we call PLCs, is they got on this incredible conversation about, let's look at our data here at North Muskegon and what's happening with our math scores here at North Muskegon. And this research, which Mr. Allen will probably talk about in his, well, he will talk about in his presentation, will kind of, you'll look at this and you're like, are you serious? This is good stuff that they're going to share with you, because it's going to push you guys to think even harder. So I'm not going to say much more, because every single one of them up here is going to talk, even Mr. Krabbe in the back, because he's inspired about this, and we're going to make this happen. So I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Allen, and I will be the driver of the slides.
Okay. Hey, I'm Mr. Allen. That's the most applause I've gotten all year. So this slideshow, yeah, like she said, we're looking at your guys' PSAT scores and other grades, and we look at differences between groups and stuff. And so we noticed something, so we thought we'd try to do something about it. But Mr. Fricky's right about all the athletic stuff and how it's not equitable for male and female students. And his suggestion, which I don't disagree with, is that you got to kind of fight for it. But it's not just athletics either. So that's what we're going to all be talking about. And we're all here, and we all wanted to be here, us math teachers. So notice that we all are on the same page, and we're all here together. Okay. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know how to do that either. So you'll just have to keep your eyes up on this screen the whole time. Presents in the upper right corner, kind of. I can't even see them away. It's probably on the other screen.
Does anybody know how to?
I can help with it.
Windows P?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if the Chromebook has that. Does it have that toggle like we did?
It would be nice if it did. There's no difficulties like technical difficulties.
I meant to do that. Her face was like,
this
was awesome. What? I got it. Whoa. Oh my God, her face. You guys missed it, but her face was the best.
All right.
I gotta. Is she gonna go to the next slide?
I can go.
No. No.
Oh, they put the mirror.
Good brains.
Okay.
Good job, ladies. Okay, I'll try not to fall this time.
For those of you that had your back turned, Emily's face when she almost fell was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so we're here to actually talk to you guys about this thing called stereotype threat. So then I guess the first natural question would be, okay, what is that? So here's the actual definition. It says it's a situational predicament in which people are or feel themselves to be at risk of confirming negative stereotypes about their social group. So really what that means is that you as a female are afraid that what they say about girls, you might actually make true. Like, you drive like a girl. Or you throw like a girl. You don't want to fear that. I'm like, next. Okay, so why should you care? Here's why. I'm going to tell you why. Because women of all ages are arguably the most stereotyped group of all people in 2016, and it affects many of them. So here's the deal, guys, is because you're so nervous about being what they say you're going to be, you actually accidentally make it come true. So you will do worse on a standardized test because they tell you, hey, by the way, this is really hard. Or you won't choose a major in college because they say, oh, well, girls don't do that. Which then means professionally, you won't do what you've always wanted to do because somewhere someone told you girls don't do that. And we as a math department don't want that. We want you guys to be passionate about whatever it is. And when someone says to you, hey, girls don't do that, we want you to be like, really? Watch me do it. Watch me outscore all the boys on this test. Watch me run the next big Fortune 500 company. Okay, over time, the number of women who run these big Fortune 500 gazillion-dollar companies has increased. As of February of this year, 4% of those companies have female CEOs. And all of us collectively, our goal should be to make that number increase every single year, and maybe even have one of you be the next major Fortune 500 CEO. I'd buy from you. Next. So, no, that's good. So now the question is, do you play sports like a girl? I do. I play.
Hi, Erin. Hi. Okay, so I'm going to just give you some actions to do, and just do the first thing that comes to mind. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. 30. Now throw like a girl.
Aww. My name is Dakota and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
Is like a girl a good thing?
Actually, I don't know what it really, if it's a bad thing or a good thing. Sounds like a bad thing. Sounds like they're trying to humiliate someone.
So when they're in that vulnerable time, between 10 and 12, how do you think it affects them when somebody uses like a girl as an insult?
I think it definitely drops their self-confidence and really puts them down because during that time, they're already trying to figure themselves out. And when somebody says you hit like a girl, it's like, well, what does that mean? Because they think they're a strong person. It's kind of like telling them that they're weak and they're not as good as them.
And what advice do you have to young girls who are told they run like a girl, kick like a girl, hit like a girl, swim like a girl?
Keep doing it because it's working. If somebody else says that running like a girl or kicking like a girl or shooting like a girl is something that you shouldn't be doing, that's their problem. Because if you're still scoring and you're still getting to the ball in time and you're still being first, you're doing it right. doesn't matter what they say. I mean, yes, I kick like a girl, and I swim like a girl, and I walk like a girl, and I wake up in the morning like a girl because I am a girl. And that's not something that I should be ashamed of. So I'm going to do it anyway. That's what they should do.
If I asked you to run like a girl now, would you do it differently?
I would run like myself.
Would you like a chance to redo it?
Why can't run like a girl also mean win the race?
I think you're 5, 6, 7, yes.
I think you just hit escape, probably. Yeah. Then you have to hit present again.
To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Right there.
Am I too far ahead?
No, this is perfect. This is the right slide. So yeah, you guys have probably even seen that one before, and maybe you've seen all the 3 videos that we're going to show before. But it's not just like athletics and sports. It's got a lot to do with like the stereotypes about math and science, right? And it does, like that one little kid who's like, no, I mean, not my sister, right? Like, oh, dang. But it's not just like little boys, it's most people, maybe not most, but probably, yeah, most people don't even realize it, whether they're male or female, young or adult or whatever. Like, people are all feeding into those same stupid stereotypes all the time. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. And actually, this is a stereotype about guys, which we're not here to talk about, but like, I choke up over these commercials. But guys aren't supposed to choke up. But it's, for real, it's just so, like, stupid. And anyway, here's a video about some stupid stuff that happens to a girl in a video. So, watch that first.
Our words can have a huge impact. Isn't it time we told her she's pretty brilliant too? Encourage her love of science and technology and inspire her to change the world.
I don't know why. Just click somewhere in the white space, I think. Yeah. I want this slide anyway now. So it's not just athletics and stuff, but it's math too specifically. That's why we're here talking to you guys. Oh, lost it. Nope, too far. No, that's too far too, I think. We are on slide 6. Yeah. So there's been a lot of research on this.
You have a great mind! Yay!
There's been a lot of like research by people who make way more money than I do looking into this. And they found that in testing, including really, really hard math tests, there's no difference between males and females in terms of their math ability at all. And then people say, oh, their brains look different. They've done lots of brain scanning. Oh, I didn't actually need you to click on any of these.
Okay,
Thanks,
I know
though.
what to do now. Oh, ready?
So this is the abstract for this one study about stereotype threat. And this is kind of, all right. Laylee, will you go drive for me, please? Thanks. But yeah, there's a brain scan. I don't know if that's a male or female brain. But in brain scans, in tests, and in the workplace getting evaluated, females do just as well as males at everything math-related, big time, as long as they believe that they are good enough, which comes up for a lot of people that they don't think they're good enough, even though that's just based on a bunch of crap stereotypes that they heard. Next slide, please. So, yeah, this is what I was saying a second ago, is that a lot of people, women in particular, they believe the lies, they internalize them and go, oh yeah, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, like I'm not as good at math. So they've done all these experiments and tests where they take hundreds of women and they give them a math test and they say, here's a math test to half of them. It's a really hard math test. And then those women, they look at their scores, and then the other half they say, here's a test that's about logic and reasoning and problem solving and some numeracy and stuff. But it's the exact same test, they just describe it differently. Well, the women who get told it's a really hard math test score bad. And the ones who are told, as a group, not every one of them, and then the group that's told it's just a logic reasoning test, they do fine, even though it's the exact same test. So it's just about memory. And in fact, they even took two groups of women and they told one group, hey, this test you're about to take it's a test. Now you're all women, so we'll see how you do. And the other group, they gave them the exact same test, but did not say, hey, you're all women, let's see how you do. And then they like looked at their brain while they were taking the test. The ones who were told, hey, you're women, like their brain even looked different under a brain scan as a group because they were believing that stereotype, which is total bologna sandwich, or BS for short. So like, just be aware of that though, that this could be a thing that you're buying into, not consciously, but somewhere deep down in your mind, you're believing it a little, and like, don't do that. And I think you're up, Ms. Roll.
Okay, so here's the data. This is actually our school. This is not some national data that we just plucked off the internet. This isn't something that we fudged and to make a point. This is actual data from actual students in our school. What you should focus on, you can see the top set of data is female, the bottom set of data is male. Focus on the green. Green's good, red's bad. Focus on the green for the females, and we see that from 8th grade to 9th grade to 10th grade to 11th grade, less young women are doing well. Not really changing with the boys. In fact, you might even say the boys are getting better in high school. So this exists. Now, maybe it doesn't exist for exactly the reasons we're here talking about, but it is a factor. Okay? So our data shows that this is occurring in our school. Go ahead. But it doesn't show up in the grade book. There's not, in my grade book, there isn't all the boys at the top and all the girls at the bottom. It's equally mixed, just how you would expect it to be. So in class, in the grade books, we don't see a difference. But when we get to a standardized test, we see the difference. So it might be, we're not saying this is what is going on with you, but it might be this stereotype. Honest to goodness truth, this happened last night. I was talking to a friend of mine about this topic, a little bit older than me. He has a granddaughter who is in 4th grade. What are you looking at me like that for?
Older than you? I didn't know that existed.
And I was talking about this topic, and he said to me, he goes, I was at my daughter's house, sitting there with my daughter and her husband and their 4-year-old daughter, and she was working on her math, and she was struggling. The son-in-law said don't worry about it. You're not going to be any good at math. Okay? This happens. It happens. Now, maybe none of you have heard this before. My guess is some of you have heard this before. Okay? You're not going to hear it from us. Okay? But it's out there. People say it. You're a girl, you're not good at math. You might hear it from other girls. My oldest daughter came home in 6th grade or so, and one of her little friends said, oh, we're not good at math. Don't worry about the math homework. To my daughter. Well, I think you all know this. My wife's an engineer. I was an engineer. That doesn't fly in our house. Okay? So, if you've heard it, it doesn't mean it's true. Next one, please. Go ahead and hit.
Have you ever been told because you're a girl that you should not do something?
Yes. All the time. All the time. It's a constant. People think that girls are supposed to be all happy and la-di-da, you know?
Be kind of traditional, like don't do something too challenging.
I can't really, like, rescue anybody. Like, it's always, like, the boys who rescue the girls in the stories.
I want you to go grab one of those boxes over there. This represents your limitation. So I'd like you to write on each one of the things that you said.
Back and not trying things out as much, and just it limited who I was.
I quit trumpet, I quit basketball, I quit wrestling. I told myself that I should stop if I'm not good.
And did you quit?
For a week.
And then what happened?
I proved them wrong by trying harder to get better.
I tried to behave what other people want me to behave, and then I thought that was horrible. So I said, okay, no more.
What do you want to do with that box?
I really want to break this box, or maybe explode it or something.
Kick him?
Go for it.
Wait, are you serious? I think that you need to keep going with whatever you love to do and do anything you want. You conquer any fear you've had and just live your dream and do whatever you want to do. And that's why I love the word unstoppable.
Pass that one.
You're going to pass? Yeah, I was going to say.
Next one. There you go. One more. There you go.
There you go.
All right, so most of you had me back in 6th and 7th grade, long time ago. But as we're thinking about this, you know, we have to think about, are we there now?
It escapes. It escapes. Thank you.
Okay, so research says if women are aware of this stereotype threat and realize that it is based on a bunch of ignorant, false ideas, they do as well or better on math tests, like the SAT, than males. And we know you can do this. We talked about, Mr. Allen talked about taking these women into a room and saying, this is a math test and it's really hard. And then saying to these women, this is just a test, go ahead and see how you do on it. These ladies consistently scored worse just because it was told it was hard and it was a math test. That has to say something to us that we're getting that message that maybe we can't do it, but we can. That's a false message. We can do just as well as the males. He already kind of referenced this link that he has there. Next slide, please. So what can we do about it? So how do we start here at North Muskegon changing that factor? Well,
Don't believe the dumb stereotypes. That's an easy thing to do. Start realizing this is not how it is. Tell others it's a stupid idea, because it is. It's a very stupid thing. When somebody says something, stand up and say, if they go, what, are you gonna hit me like a girl? Well, yes, I am. You know, outside of school. But we're saying that, not here, but we're saying that we need to say, yeah, I'm gonna do it just like a girl, and I'm gonna do good at it. You might have been persuaded that there is some truth that's in this stereotype. There's not. There's no truth. Studies show it's not true. It's something that young women have unfortunately kind of bought themselves into in their own mind. It's not true. And women, I hate to say this, but there's a couple of them in this room. Lots of them. Not just these two. We rock at math. I saw you rock things out in my class all the time. And I saw that face and that smile and how excited you were about doing well. You have people to look up to. We can do it every day. Next slide, please. So, after spring break, you're going to take the SAT. You need to crush that. You need to get in there, walk in there in the morning. I can do this. This is my thing. Because you can. And we need to put that stereotype to rest, because what happens when you put it to rest? What happens to my other little junior high girls? Oh, they start putting it to rest. And it starts with a group starting to say, I am good at this. I'm gonna be in math league, I'm gonna be in different things, and I'm gonna show you that I can do it. Because when we have women engineers out there, and we have setting that course for other women, and women teaching math, and in science, and different things, we know that we're setting an example for young women. So science says, you know that you will do well. Science says so. And so do your math teachers. We're all here today to say, we know you can do this, but you've got to go into that test knowing that there's no truth to that stereotypical lie that's out there. There's a really nice QR code. I know you guys all love your cell phones. And it kind of has this whole slideshow. And I think it's a good thing to reference back to, because we know you can do it. And we need you to know that you can do it. And we took time out of the day to make sure that you know how important this is, to put that to rest. And I'm going to turn it over to the cherry on the sundae.
They're yummy. Yeah. I don't.
Well, it's because you're in.
Got it. I chose to finish this way. You all know I have 4 daughters. I have 4 daughters.
Allie.
No. I do know their names. I have one that's a doctor, one that's an engineer, one that's an interior designer, and one that's studying to be a math teacher. So, what I want to finish with you is the exact conversation that I had in a little play, little vignette, small play, remember that, a small play, of the conversation that I had with each one of my daughters before they took the ACT, so the date is a little bit different, but it'll be the same conversation that I had with them as the SAT. And so I needed someone, I got the 2 chairs here, I need the chairs, so I need someone to play my daughter. So Mr. Wall, would you be so kind as to play the part of the daughter?
Can I be Emmy?
You can be whichever daughter you want, because the conversation was the same for all.
I hate when he talks to me. I'm gonna roll my eyes.
Honey?
Oh, hi, Dad.
Hi. You know I love you, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, you're taking the ACT tomorrow. I just want to tell you a couple of things before you take the test. Okay. Guess what?
I'm taking the test.
No. Guess what?
I don't know.
You're not going to get every question right.
Okay.
But guess what?
What?
Neither is anybody else in the room with you.
That's a relief.
Yes, it is. So, what should you do when you take the test? Number one, you should relax. Because if you know how to do something, you'll do it well. And if you don't know something, and there's things that you're going to get to on this test that you might not know how to do, you can't worry about that. Because the test is not organized. If I don't know how to do the first question, I'm screwed. That's not true.
Okay? You might not know the first question, but you might know the next 10, or you might know the next 5 after that. The point is this: do the best you can. I'm proud of you either way. We're proud of you any way it turns out. You will do well. That we know. Make sure you know that. Oh, I wanted a hug. I felt like I needed a hug. I'm not that good of an actor, so.
I don't know where to put that either.
Hard not to get choked up when you hear this stuff, really.
Yeah, so that's it from us, but we really mean it a lot, and thanks for taking time out SAT prep or band or orchestra to hear us out.